back for another tips and tricks on practicing. So, one of the games that one of my teachers used to have, well, gave to me, I don't want to say that she made me play them because I would play this game myself in my practice sessions at 3 a.m. in the School of Music building when I was technically trespassing, but that's besides the point. But one of these games I would play is the 5 good and 5 bad game. And it's as simple as it sounds. And I think originally it was 10, but for the sake of, I imagine that most of my students, most of you guys, are not studying music in college like I was. I think that 5 is probably manageable. So the 5 good, 5 bad game. You play a short excerpt or short piece, whatever, and that can be a measure, it can be a few measures, it can be a line, whatever. You play that, and then after you're done playing it, you have to assess yourself and say, was that good or was that bad? And if it's good, great, you give yourself a good point, and then you do it again. And then let's say that you do that one good also, and you're like, great, another good point. And then you do it again. And you do it until you get to 5 good. Now let's say that you get to your third one and you're like, oh, that one was kind of bad. I messed up on this thing. Then you give yourself a bad point. And the whole goal is to get to, like I said, 5 good before you get to 5 bad. Now let's say that you get through and you get done playing and you're like, cool, I did it perfectly with those 5 perfect times. Great. You get to move on to whatever you need to learn next. Now let's say that you get to 5 bad before you get to 5 good. Well, then you need to take stock and assess, like, what is it that I'm making a mistake on? Let's say, for example, I'm playing number 39 in book 2 of the cello book of Stanley Applebaum's String Builder book, sorry. Always Gay. And let's say it has a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of bowing stuff, for example, or let's just make up something, you know? And I'm playing, going along. Whoa, right? Crazy. That was bad. Well, let's do it again. What? Bad. I do that a bunch of times. I mess up. Make some bad sounds. Okay. Well, then I need to go back and figure out how to make it better. So I'm going to assess each one of those I did, and I'm going to say, okay, first time I played the first couple notes fine. Second measure, I played an F natural. So I need to be mindful that the key is G major, so I have F sharps. So I'll go through the things I made mistakes on and try to fix them one at a time. Now, the thing that we want to do is to make sure we're not repeating ourselves and reinforcing bad habits. So we need to go back, and by go back, I mean we need to go slower. Normally I would have a tuner metronome on, but for right now we're just going to stick with this. We're just going to talk and hang out so we can get this more quickly. So we are going to go back and we're going to go slower and be more mindful of things and do the same thing, the same process. Maybe instead, and you might come across this as you're playing, that as you're playing you're like, oh, I can't play the entire thing and then go back because that's going to be tiring. You're not going to pay attention. You're going to make too many mistakes. The more we're playing, the more opportunities we have for mistakes. So for the sake of actually playing this well and playing it quickly and learning it more quickly, start off with smaller chunks, please. And then as you get through, let's say that you get your 5 good, then add on some measures. Maybe instead of just doing a measure, do 2 measures, do 4 measures, do 8 measures, do the whole thing. But start off with that slow 2 measure thing. So I'm doing 4 measures right now. Here, it's in 2, 4, and it's kind of quick. And I messed up a bunch of times, so I'm going to go slower. I'll set the metronome back down maybe to 60 or whatever. And I'll go. Cool, that was good. And then I'll go through that process again. And then once I get there, then I will go back and play the whole thing faster. Or play it again at that original speed that I was trying to play it at, and hopefully it works well. If it doesn't work well, then you probably did something wrong again in the slower version. So you need to go back, go even slower, maybe do what we talked about before and take things away. Maybe take out the right hand or the left hand and just do. Or maybe take out the right hand and go nice and slow. Make sure it's in tune with the tuner, all that kind of stuff. So that is the 5 game, 5 good, 5 bad game. Now you can modify this to however you need to. I typically do 10 because I think that for me personally, I need to do about 10 for it to stick if I'm really struggling. And again, break it up, do it in smaller chunks, try different methods, or try that method, and if it doesn't work, try something else. But use this as a type of practice and a way to practice so that you're keeping your practice schedule and your practice life interesting, because it can get boring sometimes, but this will bring a little bit of light. So if you have any questions, feel free to get in contact with me. If something doesn't make sense, or you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, let me know and I will gladly try to explain it in a different way. Until next time, see you later.